Hello to all. I'm very glad to see you again in this new year. I hope you started well and that you are in a good health, which is not so easy to be in these days, and that you have activities which give you some pleasure, not forgetting what is in the world, but give you also some support. And one of these supports, I hope, will be this evening, this Come Together evening. We are coming from different countries, and I propose that Anna will make also some introductory words, and then we will just have a look who is in this evening, and then we will start.
Thank you, Carmen. I want to tell to everyone a Happy New Year and all the best from my behalf. Also, a very warm welcome to the 42nd session Come Together, Connecting People in the Time of Corona by Culture. I'm very happy that this session is organized by the Writers League together with the Institute Eloy. I'm the first vice president of the association, the Writers League Timișoara Banat branch. And I'm very happy because in this session, we will have a very interesting program for you. We organized a program in which you will be very captivated because culture. So regarding this program for today, I want to tell you that the culture transcends borders and brings closer the people. And in this session, you will hear about the Neolithic stones and artifacts from Orkney, from Great Britain. Hugh has a very nice presentation. Also, I will tell you about the Romanian National Culture Day, which we celebrated yesterday. And for this, in this program, you will hear a Romanian poem by Mihai Eminescu and also a very nice song. Also, from Bulgaria, you will listen a song in 3 voices. And very important, we will discuss in groups about the main theme of this year, discovering where we are living, where living the others. First, we will start with a Romanian song. I put in the program at the beginning a Romanian song, at the end a Romanian poem. Why? Because yesterday in Romania we celebrated the National Culture Day. This day, the January of 15, was chosen because it's the date of birth of our national poet Mihai Eminescu. For me, it was a very big honor and I was very happy. 2 years ago, at the first Come Together session, I recited the Romanian poem To the Star, La Steaua, by Mihai Eminescu. And today we will start with the song Câte frunze îs pe nuc, How Many Leaves Are on the Walnut, which is a traditional love song. And this song will be performed by Elena Ștefănuț from Cluj-Napoca. She is the soloist of the Armonia Assembly from Elderly Day Center #1, led by Mihai Eminescu. And now, please, Elena. Elena, ne bucurăm că ești aici și să te ascultăm.
Bună tuturor, mă bucur nespus să fiu alături de dumneavoastră în această seară și să interpretez acest cântec foarte drag mie.
Elena is very happy here with us.
Câte frunze să nu toate storurișe să duc, eu le spui să fugă iute, înapoi să nu se uite, că doruțușa am avut.
într-o seară l-am pierdut, l-am căutat și de-a n-am aflat. Strâmtorul dragostea și nu vrea l-aștepta, fugitorul ca vântul și dragostea ca gândul. Eu ca turma dorului în frunzuța făgului, eu ca turma rătăcesc și daruțul nu-l găsesc. Eu ca turmă rătăcesc și daruțul nu-l găsesc. Mulțumesc!
Bravo, Elena. Elena has such a lovely voice and very powerful. It's a pleasure to listen to her voice every time. Am spus că este o plăcere să-ți ascultăm vocea de fiecare dată.
Felicitări, Elena!
Mulțumesc mult!
Bravo! Also regarding the lyrics of these songs, I want to tell you how many leaves are on the walnut. They are all longings to go. I tell them to run fast, don't look back. I'm looking for the trace of longing in the beech leaf. I'm looking for the wandering trail and I can't find what I want. Am spus despre cântecul acesta because it's a traditional love song from Romania. Thank you again, Elena. And after this beautiful song, I will like to introduce Hugh from Nottingham, who will present us a very interesting presentation, Sacred Spaces of Orkney. And I give the floor to you, Hugh.
Thank you very much. I will get back to the start. Can everybody see that picture now?
Yes.
Good. Sacred Spaces of Orkney. This was a holiday visit we had been planning for several years. 2021, with the lockdown, gave us the chance to see the Neolithic stones and artifacts of Orkney. Now, you may wonder where Orkney is. That's Orkney up there. This is the British Isles altogether. This is France down here on the bottom right, and this is Ireland over on the west there. The Orkney archipelago is made up of about 70 islands, the largest of which is called Mainland, where we stayed. This island has an area of 523 square kilometres, roughly 202 square miles, making it the 6th largest Scottish island and the 10th largest island in the British Isles. It is over 985 kilometres north from where we live in Nottingham, England, but we have a convenient staging post near Edinburgh in Scotland because some of our family live there. Let me just show you a bit more. So this is the mainland of Orkney, which is where we were staying. This is Scotland, and we were staying on this left-hand end, and we travelled that way. It's not very far only about 30 kilometres. Orkney's largest settlement and its administrative centre is Kirkwall. We stayed in Stromness, which is another main ferry port to the west of Kirkwall. About there, in fact. After crossing the Pentland Firth from Scrabster on the northernmost tip of mainland Scotland, near Thurso and John O'Groats, we passed a huge rock called the Old Man of Hoy among the cliffs of the island of Hoy. Those are some photographs of those. This island protects the port of Stromness from the Atlantic storms. From here we explored the largest island of the Orkneys, known as mainland. And this is Stromness. This is Stromness Harbour. There's the ferry we came across on. There are several every day. And these are some more pictures of Stromness. And that island there at the back, that is Hoy. So that is how it protects the harbour. We're now going to take you on a little journey of Stenness. These are on a neck of land between Loch Harry and Loch Stenness, near the main road from Stromness to Kirkwall, the capital of Orkney. They are about 10 kilometres from Stromness, so not very far at all. These enormous standing stones are around 5,500 years old, like that. They are huge. That is my wife standing next to one of the stones. And behind it you can see Loch Harry. Loch means lake, so this is a freshwater lake behind these stones. Near to these, included in these stones is a stone called the Hearthstone, which we'll see in a minute, where it is thought people made sacrifices. Near to them is the remains of a village where the stone builders are thought to have lived. There's the Hearthstone, and there's the remains of this village. The people who built this village, and we think erected these large stones, almost certainly came from Europe. The Orkney vole, which is prolific here, and birds like hen harriers love eating them, so there are lots of hen harriers. These Orkney voles have their nearest genetic relative in the Netherlands. A little further away, and similar to these houses, are some houses at another Neolithic settlement called Skara Brae, which you may have heard of. It was found by chance when a very violent storm washed away some sand and revealed the remains of this village. And as you can see, people seem to have lived communally here rather than in one-on-one houses. Not far from Stenness, on a hillock overlooking the loch, is the Ring of Brodgar, a circle of 36 stones built around 2500 BCE. So in other words, 4,500 years ago. They're thought to have been the centre of a religious cult for centuries. They predate Stonehenge in England and are thought to have led to its construction. So the line of travel historically is thought to have been from Orkney down through Scotland, building these huge henges and eventually coming down to Stonehenge in England. The Ring of Brodgar is a very popular stop for tourists. Let me show you, first of all, there's the Ring of Brodgar in this landscape, and there is in fact another ring over here which you can't see. This loch here is Loch Harry, with lots of fishermen fishing for trout on it. These are the stones, when it wants to move, these are the stones of the Ring of Brodgar, and this is another one. Some of them had this curious shape. Back to the text. The Ring of Brodgar is very popular for tourists, whether family travellers like us or coach parties who come over by ferry from John O'Groats to South Ronaldsay, which is an island tied to the mainland of Orkney by a barrage that was built to protect naval ships during the Second World War, or tourists who come from in Kirkwall, though when we were there last summer there were not many cruise liners in Kirkwall. Moving on from the stones of Stenness to Kirkwall, we went to St Magnus Cathedral, which was founded in 1137 by Earl Ronjevalt in honour of his uncle, the martyred St Magnus. This is a beautiful cathedral made of this rich red sandstone. Orkney still has a very strong Viking and Norwegian influence. As you can see, if you look at this flag, that is the Orkney flag, but it is very similar in many ways to the Norwegian flag today. And that, sadly, is the west front of St Magnus Cathedral. It's under repair at the moment, so I couldn't get a decent photograph of it. Finally, a stopping point which would be seen as a sacred site if you like drinking whiskey. If you don't, I'm sorry, but I couldn't resist putting this in. This is the Highland Park Distillery, built in the late 18th century. And the first of the photographs here, you can actually see the entrance to the distillery. Next to it here is the drying room, where people put the barley that was wet to be dried and warmed so it would create lots of sugar, and then it was taken to a room called the mashing room, where it was soaked in water for a number of days. And interestingly now these distillers are finding ways to make use of the carbon dioxide which comes off this process to sell it to other firms that actually need to have the carbon dioxide. The remaining two photographs about this distillery show the outside of the distilling room. We weren't allowed to take photographs inside, but this is where all that mashed liquid gets refined and turned into whiskey, and is then stored here in the whiskey store for a great many years, at least 10 years, before it then gets bottled and sold on to people who want to drink it. We then went back to Stromness, and a few days later we packed our bags and headed back to the harbour in Stromness to catch the ferry back to Scrabster and Scotland. There's our ferry. And there is Stromness. We'd had an excellent week exploring the fascinating main island of Orkney. There's an awful lot more we could do, and we hope to do that soon. And also enjoying its food and its hospitality. People were most kind to us. And you will note that I've put a note at the end there. Farewell to Stromness is also the name of a very well-known piece of music by Peter Maxwell Davies. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Of course, we enjoyed this presentation. It was extraordinary. It was a very interesting material, and I think that it's very useful for people who want to go there and to visit. And I have a question. How long is the trip with the ferry?
The trip with the ferry is about an hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
And the sea isn't rough.
Oh, good to know. Thank you very much for your presentation again.
My pleasure.
Няма ли COVID, ако няма да отиваме?
Emily, what did Vesca say?
He is asking if there is COVID. If not, let's go there. Is there COVID on the island? On the main island?
On the main island, there was not very much. The islanders had been very careful to try to stop COVID coming, but there was some.
So
There's
if
also some.
it's not too much, let's go there to live.
Good.
Thank you, Hugh, again for your presentation. Yes, now we will hear a song performed by Ivanka Baltova, Svetanka Palova, Rumiana Raikova Kostova. The three of them are. They will perform a song, Večeraja Rado, in English, Have Dinner Rado. And this song was rewarded with the first prize of Krapets. Krapets is near the Black Sea. And now shall we listen to this beautiful song in three voices. Pari?
Pita, da sita pita moritiču. Večeraj rado, večeraj rado, večeraj rado, morivonka izlizaj. Da sita pita, da sita pita, da sita pita, moriti čuvali si. Za men da grčo, za men da grčo, za men da grčo, rado po celo selo. Če sem bil hodil, če sem bil hodil, če sem bil hodil, mori sem bil čukav, sem bil čukav, sem bil čukav, sem bil čukav, mori počuti porti, počuti porti, počuti porti, počuti porti, rado i navašana.
Bravo!
Bravo, bravo.
Bravo!
Bravo,
Very
Ivanka.
nice voices, the three of you. Ivanka, do you want to say something?
I will say something and after that she.
Благодаря ви за хубавите думи. Ами,
Thank you very much
искам
for
да
good
кажа,
work.
че можехме на живо да изпълним тази песен, но понеже днес се навършва 1 година от смъртта на съпруга на Цвети, една от изпълнителките, той беше наш диригент, ние трите също участваме и в голям смесен хор. Имаме много участия и в Румъния също имаме.
Чакай да приведем.
Добре.
So, she told us that they wanted to be here, 3 of them, but exactly 1 year ago died their director of this group, who was a husband of one of the participants in the group. But they also have got many other participation in different competitions. This song win first place in competition in Krapets. The song has got not very special text, but the voices are really very beautiful.
Yes, very, very.
The text is, have a nice dinner, my girlfriend Rado. But I would like to ask you if you have ever heard about gossips about me, gossips that I have been visiting many houses in our village, including yours. So the song is especially for gossips. So, Иванка, tell us more. Кажи още нещо, ако искаш.
Еми, не те чух.
Кажи още нещо, ако искаш. Аз казах съдържание.
Понеже Ана е от Румъния, искам да кажа, че преди няколко години с нашия голям хор, който беше над 30 души, участвахме в международен хоров фестивал в град Питещ. И там завоювахме 3-та награда. И останалите колективи бяха много професионални, а ние бяхме любителски колектив и се съревновавахме наравно с тях.
She is also a participant in a very big group of singers, about 30 participants. And some years ago, they participated in a big competition for professional singers in Pitești. And they win the 3rd prize, even they are not professional group.
Bravo.
Bravo, bravo.
We hope to hear again your small group and also the big one.
So she is a member of in one small group and also in big one.
And we hope to hear them in another time.
Now she is working with professional group from Sofia. Online is preparing for other competitions. And for her, it is interesting how is organization of these not professional groups in every country, art groups.
Thank you, Ivanka. Thank you for your song. It was extraordinary. Blagodaria. And now, at the end, we will finish with a Romanian poem. The lyrics are on our great poet Mihai Eminescu. I want to tell you that this poem, Floarea Albastră, Blue Flower, will be recited by Elena Armenescu from Bucharest, and she's also a writer. And I want to tell that the poem Floarea Albastră, Blue Flower, is written in a form of a dialogue between the poet and his girlfriend. And there is an enormous distance between the way of conceiving the life of the girl, for whom life means joy, love, and for the poet, for whom the life means knowledge and aspiration for the absolute. Doamna Elena, dacă doriți să spuneți ceva sau să recitați.
Happy to see you again. Happy New Year's 2022. And I will recite Blue Flower by poem by Mihai Eminescu in language, in Romanian language. Ana, vei traduce sau cum procedăm?
Da. Voi spune în engleză doar 4 strofe. Cred că voi începe eu ca să le zic și după aceea vă las toate. Da. I will recite you in English just 4 lines, and Elena Armenescu will recite the entire poem in Romanian, but for you to know the translation. Blue Flower. Have you plunged again in spheres and in clouds you wanna flee? How I wish you stayed with me. You are the soul of all my years. The old pyramids are charming. Point directly to the sky. You don't need to search so high for your happiness, my darling. One last kiss and left me sour. Didn't know what I was feeling, how insane and how appealing was my sweet and blue flower. Off you went, and my eyes burned, and our love died in an hour. Blue flower, blue flower, there is sadness in the world. And now let's hear Elena.
Iar te-ai cufundat în stele și în nori și în ceruri înalte, de nu mai uita în calte sufletul vieții mele. În zadar râuri în soare, grămădești în a ta gândire și câmpiile asire și întunecata mare. Piramidele învechite urcă în cer vârful lor mare. Nu căta în depărtare fericirea ta, iubite. Astfel spuse mititica dulce, netezindu-mi părul. Ah, i-a spuse adevărul. Eu am râs, n-am zis nimica. Hai în codru cu verdeață, unde izvoare curg în cale, stânca stă să se prăvale în prăpastia măreață. Acolo, în ochi de pădure, lângă bolta cea senină, lângă trestia cea lină, vom ședea în foi de mure. Și mi spune la povești și minciuni cu a ta guriță. Eu, pe un fir de romaniță, voi cerca de mă iubești. Și de-a soarelui căldură voi fi roșie ca mărul, mi-o-i desface de aur părul, să-ți astup cu dânsul gura. De mi-i dau sărutare, nimeni în lume n-a să știe, căci va fi sub pălărie. Și apoi, cine treabă are? Când prin crengi s-a fi ivit, luna, în noaptea cea de vară, mi-i ținea de sub soară, te-i ținea de după gât. Pe cărarea în bolți de frunze, apucând spre sat, la vale, ne-om da sărutări în cale dulci ca florile ascunse. Și sosind la al porții prag, vom vorbi în întunecime. Grija noastră n-aibă nimeni, cui, ce-i pasă că mi-ești drag? Încă o gură și dispare, ca un stâlp eu stam în lună. Ce frumoasă, ce nebună e albastra-mi dulce floare. Și te-ai dus, dulce minune, și-a murit iubirea noastră. Floare albastră, totuși este tristă în lume.
Bravo, bravo, Elena! Foarte frumos,
Aș vrea
extraordinar!
să adaug o singură strofă dintr-o poezie pe care eu i-am dedicat-o lui Eminescu, în care sunt amintite aproape operele lui, titlurile esențiale, și am zis așa: ascultata Eminescu sinfonia îngerilor pe-a luceafărului căi, la ora atingerilor, aprins de dorință, de neobosită căutare a minunii răspândită pe tărâmurile astrale. Mulțumesc!
Noi mulțumim din suflet!
Mulțumesc!
It was very nice. A very good performance, and also the lyrics of Mihai Eminescu, which are very touchful for every one of us. And in the end, Elena Armenescu made some lines of herself dedicated to our great poet Mihai Eminescu. Thank you again, Elena.
Cu mult drag.
Thank you, Elena. Thank thanks to all of you for this nice presentation of this evening. We learned a lot. We had a very emotional approach to our different cultures, and we discussed also about ideas, wishes, and we made a lot of proposals. So I think we had been, it was a good mixture this evening, and thank you for contributing. So we wish you a very good end of this evening and a good time, and we will see us the next time in 2 weeks. Thank you for coming.